sudden, de repente, I think Hueso Esqueleto, Dustin, Double Dustin, a bunch of guys said, and this Manny, he started this fight. So we didn't know any better. We go in to try to save him. So all these fools jump into the fight.
Yeah.
And then Gabby and Angie are sitting in the corner and they see Manolo crawling from underneath the fight, crawling on his hands and knees.
That was pretty comical, dude.
Out of the fight. Con tus greñas, like your ponytail was at the side. And they're like, oh shit, it's on. And then he comes up and then you grab, I think, Gabby's beer. And then you lean up against the wall and go like, what the fuck's going on? What's going on with these fools? And everybody is fighting. Everybody. So then Double Dustin comes out, and I think he had a shiner or something like that.
Oh, damn.
Like, what happened, dude? You know, and you're like, I don't know. And then I remember telling these guys afterwards, I go, haven't you learned anything? If Manolo starts a fight, 99% of the time, he deserves it. And you just got to let it roll, bro. You got to let it roll. You know?
No, that was just
anyways,
funny.
Hello, Facebook. We're talking historias de Manolo porque Manolo, por razón, le dicen el diabólico. And maybe next week we'll count the time about how he got the diabólico, like terminology.
Eso es
Let's space him out. Let's space him out.
Yeah, just space him out.
Let's space him out. We're going to do the alphabet. Estamos ya en vivo en el Face. We finally connected back on Mi Vecindad Facebook page.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You got the ban lifted?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
The ban lifted?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Te prohibían ciertas cosas, and I guess we did something. I don't know what.
Pues,
heard some.
entre ustedes dos güeyes, I mean, you guys, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you got enough misdemeanors not to be able to vote anymore.
Ya mero.
Ya mero.
Y bueno, comenzamos la noche con Disidente a través de la banda Elástica Radio, DiavloVision, Mi Vecindad. Ahora, si quieren escuchar la música, tienen que ir al link a través de Mi Vecindad, aquí en la página Mi Vecindad en el Face, o a la página de web de la banda Elástica, labandaelástica.com. Ahí oprime donde dice radio.
Are we live yet?
We're live on Face and we're about to turn on the mics for
okay.
La banda Elástica Radio y prendemos micrófonos. Disidente, marionetas del futuro. What the heck was that?
That was your pick, right?
Yes.
Para empezar el show. Tell us, G, what were you thinking?
Mira, me topé con esta canción de Disidente y me encantó desde que la coloqué. Este sencillo es un nuevo sencillo del grupo, ¿no? Y siempre me ha gustado Disidente. Entonces, cuando sacan algo nuevo, me fascinó. O algo interesante. Me encanta que son tapatíos, ¿no? Me encanta,
Guadalajara, yeah.
Guadalajara. Me encanta que es un grupo muy grunge, muy alternativo, muy stoner, todo a la vez. Y de veras que se dejan caer la greña, you know, and you understand that cuando teníamos pelo, you know. I mean,
pinches rockeros, dude. They're straight up rockeros, yeah.
Man. Muy pesados en muchas maneras, pero yo creo que lo pesado es en la calidad, ¿no? De la música y en este caso también en lo que es la canción, Marionetas del Futuro. Me fascinó, me gustó tanto que les dije a los chavos, a ver, Diabólico, Chivo, based on this song, let's develop a playlist.
You threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
Al Chile. Like it caught me off guard and I'm like, okay. It was one of the few semanas que no tenía nada like lined up that could fit.
Yeah.
I think Manolo and I were texting el día siguiente en la mañana, like, ¿tienes algo? Sí, pues I'm working on it. And I'm like, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, well, then, you know, throw it down because I not that I was having trouble. I was like, tenía dos, tres canciones, and then they just had to like, I think we did a good job. I think we did.
It's an excellent playlist beat.
I think El Manolo hit it on the nail when he said, suena como Alternative Nation. I'm like, and I forgot about Alternative Nation, that late 90s, but que era de 30 minutos, una hora. Like, yeah, it was like, creo que era todos los días, pero por media hora. It was kind of like MTV Raps, but like right? Manolo?
Yeah. It was kind of like the indie, alternative,
grunge, whatever.
Rock. Tenía un poquito de todo. And that's kind of what tonight's...
Of the mid to late 90s,
Yeah, y eso es lo que me recordó de playlist de esa noche.
Yeah.
Pues mira, vamos a seguir, vamos a disfrutar de una chelita.
We had the beautiful Kennedy doing it, so I mean, can't go wrong with that.
Oh yeah, Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
Was she the only one? Was she the only VJ? Or
she's the only one that I paid attention to. So, I mean,
vamos a seguir, pues. ¿A dónde vamos? ¿Quién sigue?
El Diabólico.
Sí, Simón. So, nos vamos a quedar en México, pero ahora nos vamos a ir a Chihuahua. La banda es Apollo. They're kind of like psychedelic stoner rockers.
Mm-hmm. Very.
Yeah. So, esta canción se llama Lobo Estepario del álbum Tercer Solar, que salió hace un tiempecito atrás, en el 2014. Esta banda, has been around since 2007, 3 álbumes, y I thought que acopló bien a Disidente.
One of the common threads de the set de esta noche, for varias semanas we've been playing a lot of like new bands, young bands.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight's set is like the average age tienen como 10 a 15 años de estar tocando. I mean, they're not like,
Yeah, some of them are 20. Porque
yeah, well, I know, pero the average age es como 10, 12 años, for a lot of these bands. Es muy común. Bueno, anyways, Manolo, sigue adelante. Mi vecindad.
I got to log on to the Facebook.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. Like at first I noticed it with some of your bands, and then I didn't realize that I had done the same thing with mine. Almost all the bands, none of them are young,
No, I have obviously think and agree with you guys that I think that's why Mi Vecindad is so special. Porque ¿cuándo vas a escuchar este tipo de música elsewhere? I don't know. Maybe in Mexico they have. I know Mexico does have some good ass fucking radio stations.
Sí, güey.
En la capital.
Pero son muy niche.
Yeah.
Like we do straddle todos los géneros alternativos.
Sí.
We don't shy. But I mean, we do what we can.
Yeah.
If we had more time.
Saludos a Disidente, nos mandó un
nice.
por el
Órale.
Por la canción está chingona, so I mean, it's not like...
La canción está súper chingona, for sure, man. Marionetas del futuro. Apolo, otro mexicano de Chihuahua. ¿Qué ondas con este? El Apolo es otra cosa que está pasando con el playlist. Como tú dices, Chivo, ¿no? Varios de los grupos pues ya tienen callo, ¿no? Ya tienen fuera, y reescuchar estas canciones creo que es very refreshing, y me da mucho gusto porque por eso digo lo que digo, ¿no? Que solo en mi vecindad vas a escuchar eso, y con nosotros este tipo de esfuerzo alternativo, ¿no?
Y también está chido de que se escucha no solamente lo más reciente, lo nuevo, estas bandas están un poco más accesibles, pero a la misma vez no se dan a escuchar tanto.
No, I mean, you hit it on the nail cuando dices comparaste setlist Alternative Nation. Yeah, okay, Alternative Nation would play like Smashing Pumpkins, Soundgarden, ¿verdad? But then you'd also get bandas que están más, Babes in Toyland, whatever, que están más abajo. And I think we're doing that with this night, because like later on, I'm going to play one of my favorite Bondre songs, and anyways, you guys just got to listen to the set. de esta noche. It's a little bit everywhere,
Yes.
but it's very rooted in the 90s, I think.
Las influencias for sure.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
good. It's good.
Yeah. I almost switched it up at the last minute. I was almost going to switch a song today. And I decided not to at the last minute. Only because
This sounds really, really good.
No. Claro, pero los Románticos de Zacatecas actually have a new single out from like 6-7 weeks ago.
Okay.
That's very similar to this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna switch it out, but then I thought, you know what, Nel, let it roll, and let's just play the new single in a few weeks because they deserve it too. You know, something like
sounds good.
I think La Bronca. I think our biggest fault is that we don't revisit some of these bands soon enough. Sometimes,
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a conscious effort. I think Manolo is también like every couple of months. There's always a few bands that deserve an extra plug. You know, they all deserve an extra plug. La verdad que sí. Pero es imposible con 60 minutos que tenemos cada semana. Pero, you know, we're trying.
Son 60 minutos poderosos.
Y también el set, you know, at least my set, muchas de las bandas las hemos escuchado antes, pero ya hace tiempo. So thanks, G, for starting it off with Disidente. And I like the playlist, man. So
it spices it up because it forces us to look at a different callejón in our vecindad. You know what I'm saying? That we love, but we just haven't been down to that pub in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Como este grupo que estamos escuchando con nuestras voces, The Vulture. No, ¿es un grupo o es un vato?
Es Mauricio Terracino. Es su proyecto, pero I think he composes por la música él mismo, pero cuando se va en gira tiene una banda que lo apoya. It's super cool, man. Como lo que ha sucedido de la carrera de Mauricio, you know, starting off as el bajista de Zurdok Movimiento and, you know, just being grounded.
He's a big producer, right? I mean, he produces a lot, no?
Yeah. I think he produced Los Románticos, like their first album.
Hablando de giras, estaba hablando con Aguilera ayer. And he's gonna do a small gira con Vic Rogio, el vocalista de los Slackers. So they're gonna do like I think 4 or 5 dates in Southern California and Mexico, you know, acoustic. Like very soon, creo que agosto, por ahí. Nice. So keep an eye out for that. So it's gonna be pretty neat. And he's got another tour in the works, but I'm going to keep that under wraps until it's confirmed, you know, which is going to be a much, much bigger tour, you know.
So it's going to be more like a rock.
Not here in Estados Unidos or Mexico, somewhere else.
A Rudo tour or something?
Well, you know, just los seaside stories, you know, pero, you know.
Nice. A Pata de Perro tour.
Okay.
Nice.
Los Slackers. Esos rudos. Where are they from?
Old school, New York, dude. Old school Moonska. They're one of some of the founders of Moonska Records, dude.
Oh, really?
You know?
Yeah, and Hellcat or something like that, or part of it?
Yeah. They eventually went from Moonska to like, you know, Epitaph, Hellcat, and all that, you know.
Excéntrico Antídoto.
El pinche Vulture, dude. Compone buenas canciones este güey, man. They all are super catchy. They're polished. They rock.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Es un súper talento. Fíjate, no... como dice mi amigo el Diabólico, al Chile, like, I hardly hear Zoe. Yo no, a Zoe no lo escucho. No es que no me gusta o it's just something happened during that Zoe era that no me llegó, ¿no? Pero ahora sé por qué, porque si tiene este tipo de talento de ese grupo, I mean, and it's just one person.
Yeah.
Turning on mics.
Ok, acabamos de escuchar a Excéntrico Antídoto de The Vulture. The Vulture Lo hemos tocado varias veces, es el ex bajista de Zurdok Movimiento. Ahora, pues, su carrera musical has taken off desde entonces. Ahora es productor, mixer, ha trabajado con bandas como Jumbo, Café Tacuba, Titán, Control Machete, un chingo de bandas.
The heavyweights, the heavyweights.
Yeah, he's like the fucking Butch Vig, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I was totally confusing him, but
Yeah, y como estaba diciendo fuera del aire, man, las canciones, he knows cómo componer una pinche rola. They sound good, polished, rocks. I dig it.
Very much so, dude.
Yeah.
Very much so. A ver, Manolo. Where are we going to next?
Okay, so now we're going to a little bit softer side. Nos vamos a quedar en México, pero ahora nos vamos a ir al DF. Las 3 bandas, pues 4 bandas ya. Este es el blog mexicano. Esta banda que vamos a escuchar se llama Bengala, rock alternativo del DF. La rola es Déjala Ir, que salió en el 2019, álbum Laberinto. And esta banda, man, rock, pinche good alternative rock mexicano. Lo que me gusta mucho del vocalista Diego Suárez, muchas veces cuando canta, man, me recuerda mucho de Mike Patton, la voz de él.
Which is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Not easy. Bueno, vamos a escuchar la canción Déjala Ir de Bengala, Mi Vecindad. The funny thing, not the funny thing, la mayoría de las canciones de esta noche that are more on the grunge and rock side, they're almost all exclusively de bandas mexicanas.
Yeah. I mean, except for the last band, Nudo Zurdo, it's puro pinche banda de México, dude.
Mm-hmm. Just about, yeah, there's a couple that I went in other places and we'll explain the sound why, but they complement,
Creo que eso también es algo muy significante, ¿no? La calidad de este rock. Está chingón, o sea, it's really well done, well produced.
Well, it's definitely a mid to late 90s sonido.
Yeah.
It's definitely like a 95 to like 98, 99 sonido, like de esta noche.
Yeah.
Sometimes we focus on early 90s or 80s or early 2000s or whatever, pero
para mí Apolo, o escucho, and I think I've said this before, escucho la voz urbana de un grupo urbano, pero la música es totally stoner, It's an interesting mix and it just works so well.
Yeah. Hey, ahorita vengo. Be right back.
Okay.
It works so well and y tiene que ver mucho con la calidad, ¿no? La calidad de la música de estos grupos. La banda elástica radio DiavloVision, aquí en el show de Mi Vecindad, escuchando a Bengala. Bengala, un grupo mexicano que también siempre ha habido como olas, ¿no? Olas de música. Y creo que la ola de los principios de los que más o menos se puede decir llegando a los 2015 por ahí, ¿no? Una ola de música nueva y creo que Bengala era parte de ese grupo.
De esa ola. Yeah, no, I agree.
De esa ola.
There's como 3, 4 grupos de esta noche surgieron en esa misma ola en México. The early teens, The
early teens, right.
Yeah.
Bengala es uno de esos grupos.
I mean, if you look at Bengala, if you look at Apolo. Later on voy a tocar a Los Románticos, también igual, misma ola.
Yeah. Mucha buena música y pues qué delicia, ¿no? Qué delicia de música. Bengala, Déjala Ir. Qué mensaje, ¿no? Como Déjala Ir.
Yeah, for sure, man. A veces es lo más difícil, pero sometimes, holding on to somebody, you're
Dude,
causing them harm.
They've done that to us so many times.
Yeah, whatever.
We make it sound so tragic, like it was so hard for me.
I know.
I'm like, it was not hard for her.
Yeah, no. If you love her, let her go, or if you love him, let him go, or something.
Yeah, like, especially if you're hurting each other, you know?
Yeah, ¿pa' qué doler? Knocking. Who's gonna be attached to us? ¿Cuándo? No, la verdad es que éramos muy particularmente interesados en la distribución del amor.
Y cómo les encantaba, güey, cómo les encantaba.
Nos encantaba.
Todos,
Mira,
man.
estamos escuchando. I'm gonna pause for a second and just listen to this, okay? Nudo Zurdo. ¿Qué canción? O sea,
Yeah.
I mean, it's intense.
Esta rola, man, it's one of my favorite songs de Nudo Zurdo, pero sí me recuerda mucho influencias. To me, it's very Cerrati-ish, this particular song from them.
I thought that too, pero ¿sabes qué también? It's there's a classical essence to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, la guitarra.
The guitar tone in the recording is very that's what drags you in first.
Yes. And I was trying to, other than Cerrati, I was like, I think musically también it took me to someone like when, like even Pink Floyd, you know, was turning like certain psychedelic into pop, you know, and, but you know, Pink Floyd también tuvo un pinche una bandota. I mean, they went fucking huge, you know, but los principios, but for sure Cerrati, I thought that's the same thing, and but they're also in a league of their own. They're kind of, you know, like.
Yeah, lo que Nudo Zurdo, I feel que pegaron, pero it was almost like they could have been huge. Pero
the problem with them, and there's a couple of the bands que también podemos incluir en eso, llegaron a esa época de los como 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. There's a little época where like hay bastantes bandas buenas, but for some reason they didn't go y no avanzaron a llegar a la ola from like the late teens, like 17, 18 and on, where they could have really, you know, y hay bastantes grupos. I mean, we can, but that's why, porque estamos aquí en mi vecindad, to like, you know, no nos limitamos nomás de tocar de esta década or last one or the one before that. I mean, we don't give up. You know, we'll play it from like.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's intense. I listen to it and I welcome it every time when I was listening to the playlist. Y como les dije, you know, esta tarde les dije, you know, this is an epic playlist. You know, it's intense. That todas las canciones muy interesantes, muy diferentes también. Dentro de la ola alternativa de ese rock y también stoner, pero cada grupo, you know, they hold their own, man. They're intense that way. Nudo Zurdo se les recomienda, escúchenlo. So they're not.
No, I don't think so. No han sacado nada de 2017 por ahí o 2016.
No, yeah. They disbanded in 2018. Leo Mateos is a solo artist, and his stuff's okay, but to me, it's Nudo Zurdo is just amazing.
Yeah.
Y también,
you know what? Interesting you say what you said earlier, Chivo, because I would think that they could possibly been like the Coldplay of Spain, maybe, you know, like.
No llegaron a say like we're gonna play another band from Spain that desfortunadamente también ya no existe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't know that they had stopped playing. Las Ruinas have like a rip on their Bandcamp. And all it said is 2010 to 2020, 10 years, 10 albums. We did it.
Wow.
That's it. You know, like no rhyme, no reason, no excuses. Like kind of like ese era el plan. 10 discos, 10 años, you know, whatever it be. And they did it. You know, I'm like,
realizaron su meta, ¿no?
you know, to me, that's in their own way, like a big punk rock, you know, like kind of like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. 10 years, man. 10 years it's a long time. And if you hit,
I was more impressed by 10 albums.
Yeah. 10 albums in 10 years. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, they included a few EPs, but I mean, they were releasing something every single year.
Yeah.
Turning on mics.
Ok. Esa canción es Úrsula, hay nieve en casa de Nudo Zurdo, del álbum Voyeur Amateur 2017. A Nudo Zurdo desafortunadamente ya no está en existencia. Quebraron en el 2018. Se formaron en el 2001, así que estuvieron una banda por 17 años. Y to me, yo me topé con ellos ya después de que habían quebrado, which kind of like broke my heart, bummed me out because they're so good, especially their second album, Sintética. It's amazing.
Mira, la etapa que tienes ahorita, what you're saying about that, is the one that I've been arguing with Gustavo Santaloa for a few years now.
Yeah.
Because that homie went on record saying que después de 2005
no existía.
So check this out. So check this out. Me encantó que G threw it out there. He's like, hey, me topé con esta canción de Disidente. It rocks. I'm listening to it. Let's put it on our set list. And I'm like, okay, let's open up with that. Y seguimos de ahí. So las 4 bandas que yo toqué, Apolo se formó en el 2007, The Vulture, como artista solista empezó en el 2004, Bengala se formaron en el 2003 y Nudo Zurdo, 2001. So this is un sonido de música excelente from the 2000s.
Early 2000s. Yeah.
Okay.
Very much so. Well, I'm going to try to seguirle, but I'm going to go with one of the newer bands, porque ellos se formaron en el 2010.
Órale.
Okay, so they're newer. Okay, they're newer. No sé mucho de Monte. Son de San Jose, Costa Rica. They have a few albums out. This was the first song that I listened to, and I was going, it's very unique. I've had it in una de mis listas alternativas to play as a one-off. Like I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cuando presentaste the start of this, I was just going, maybe I can make this work. So I shoved it in there with a shoehorn and decided to roll with it. So esta canción se llama El Descenso de los Voladores, del grupo Monte desde Costa Rica. Let's check it out and see what you guys think, okay?
Aquí en la Banda Elástica Radio, mi vecindad. This is a cool jam, man.
It's a really cool jam.
It's a unique jam. And I didn't know where to put it. Because it's alternative, but it's not like, they got a sonido more like, not like Bengala, but like in that, like, so I was just kind of like, let me shove it in there and see where I can make it work and with this, Where
are they from?
Costa Rica.
Son ticos.
Yeah. So I kind of went somewhere else. And then next I was playing one of my favorite Vondre songs, just because I figured I got an excuse to play it now, and I shoved it in there, And then I went.
It's been active for a bit, no? Or...
Yeah, but
they have a lot.
Most of these groups, with the exception of Vondre and los románticos, I don't think they exist anymore. So there's a
Okay.
common thread going through tonight. Most of these groups ya no existen, or they're on an extended break and we don't know.
And that's super cool, man. That's playing them, keep the flame alive and exposing people to their cool music.
Lo que era really trippy about this is that we didn't talk about this. It just kind of happened, We kind of went for an older 2000 sound.
Right.
And it just played out that way.
Mm-hmm.
With the exception of Vondre, which is a much, probably the youngest band that we're playing tonight.
So Monte might not still be around?
They haven't done anything since 2018, 2019.
And it's a piece.
I don't know. And they've been around desde 2010, 2009. So they haven't done anything in casi 4 años, so I don't know. It's kind of like there's nothing ever,
Yeah, and so it tanta música there para hacer un three-piece, no? They're a three-piece.
Mm-hmm.
Just that always surprised me in a very good way that they could play so much. I mean, it sounds so full for a three-piece, and and ese rock costarricense, delicioso.
Well, I definitely, if we I shied away from the stoner rock.
Well, this is stoner kind
of.
It is,
but it's very alternative. It's very
this kind of reminds me like a cross between Dinosaur Jr. and Pixies.
Okay. Well, that's where I'm headed to. I'm glad you pointed that out, because I'm definitely going in that direction for the rest of the set.
Mm-hmm.
Vondre, which we're big fans here aquí en mi vecindad, this song was more of my whole L7 Babes in Toyland late 90s feel.
Right.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Like when I think of Babes in Toyland, as far as what esta banda de Hermosillo, ¿cómo se llama esa banda? Dude? Está pegando ahorita un chingo.
Margarita Podridas?
Yeah, Margaritas Podridas. I feel like they're the darlings, pero para mí, Vondre is more my speed.
I know, I completely agree. I think I like Margaritas Podridas, but I think it's more of an image than a substance.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You guys can slap me if you want, but
right?
Pero I'm a jaded old punk rocker, so I'm always going to call it the way I see it. And I've been punched out for it before, many times. And I don't care, and I'm not going to stop. But Vondre, I think they're the real deal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. She lives it.
And
yeah.
And I always respect the real deal over anything else, so.
Yeah.
Anyways, I love the guitar work on this song.
La voz también, man.
When you had thrown the Nudo Zurdo song, it gave me the perfect excuse to play Vondre with this.
You know what's funny that you say that? Porque when I was listening to the playlist, I was like, oh man, should I tell Hector to play this song after Nudo Zurdo? Because I felt it just followed it so well.
It could have gone either way, but when we put together, I think you did the same thing I did. We put it together in between working on Friday. I was just on a crunch,
Yeah.
And I think it works fine. And it goes from what I definitely was thinking Dinosaur Jr. to Pixies to a J Church Jawbox sonido. I was going for that mid 90s, 95, 96, 97 alternativo,
It's so delicious. I said that earlier about Monte, pero es que de veras esa calidad de música de estos grupos, could I dare say it's because también lo sentimos, and maybe maybe me personally, I'm a little too emotional about all the music that we play.
Oh, I thought you were going to say we were delicious, and I was going to agree.
Turn the mic. Órale.
Acaban de escuchar a Dualidad de Bondre. It's one of my favorite Bondre songs. Antes de eso, Monte, El Descenso de los Voladores. Es una banda de Costa Rica que I don't know much about. No sé si todavía existen. Empezaron los finales de 2009, 2010, pero no han sacado nada nuevo desde un sencillo en 2019. They remind me of kind of like a Bengala from Costa Rica. Bondre, de la Ciudad de México. They're probably the youngest band that we're playing tonight.
Right.
But you wouldn't be able to tell that from their music. Because they definitely transport me to 96, 97.
Yeah.
You know, and believe me, all three of us were there seeing the bands that they idolize. I mean, I don't know how many times we saw like L7 at One Step Beyond.
Earlier,
I saw Babes in Toyland in front of nobody.
You know,
I mean,
I
Hole, I wasn't a big fan of Hole. My wife loves Hole, but I'm not a big fan of Hole. She'll probably slap me. I don't know how many times we've seen them. I can tell you, Manolo personalmente got kicked out of two Bikini Kill shows.
Órale.
Racism, targeting brown people.
But anyways, Bondre is a very talented band de la Ciudad de México. I heard rumors that they're coming back up in a couple of months. Aquilare de la Bahía, so we definitely need to hook up with them again. Anyways, let's keep going. Afuera del aire, Manolo dijo, Chivo, tu sé me recuerda un poco de Dinosaur Jr. going into the Pixies. And I'm like, that's what I was going for. The next band, Millones de Colores, is one of the old school bands de Lima, Peru, junto a Plug Plug, that basically started this whole movement in this whole Lima scene. I mean, we've interviewed bands, we've talked to other bands from Lima, Peru, that are younger, that grew up watching Millones de Colores and Plug Plug. Millones de Colores does not exist anymore, but damn, this is a good song. Por Parasales de Millones de Colores.
Mi vecindad.
Definitely, I was shooting for that Husker Du, Sugar.
I love Sugar and Husker Du.
Oh, we all do, dude. Come on, dude. Like, I mean, it's
fast and efficient.
Yeah, and thoughtful. Not the most wonderful vocalists, but genius songwriters and writers.
Well, you know, so when I was listening to Apollo, and for some reason, in listening to music throughout the week or whatever, algo pasó donde me topé con el Tri, ¿no? La música del Tri, maybe it's just me thinking about lo urbano de esa canción. Anyway, what I'm getting at is like, and it was literally thinking the thought of vocals. You know, are vocals, like, do they need to be a certain range?
Well, 1 through 4K is what we can hear.
No,
I'm not talking about Ruido Rosa in that case. You're talking about the sound waves. You're talking about pink noise,
no.
Right?
But then again,
sorry, that was the audio engineer coming out.
I'm a fan of Tom Waite.
Yes. Okay.
So,
how much horse of a voice?
I'm a fan of Alejandro Guzman's vocals.
Another person with a hoarse voice.
Okay.
George Thorogood, man. I like George Thorogood.
Oh, exactly.
That fail.
You know,
Está feo.
To me, it's more the
Como
delivery.
cuando, check this out. It reminded me that one time I went to Stanford when I was in college and I was doing mi vecindad. And someone, I think it was Imelda, or someone, they were like,
Saludos, Imelda. She listens in.
yeah, big time. They were like, oh, are you Dr. G? Somehow it came out, right? It was one of those, college things that I went to. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. She's like, man, I imagined you taller and handsome. Like she heard the voice. She was like, and
in el 95, 96, pues there was no internet, so we were live on the radio.
Oh man, pero no, like con todos los huevos. O sea, she didn't hold back con pelos en la lengua. She was like, I imagine you taller and handsome. I was like, oh well, thank you. Anyway, and so yeah, I mean, man, lo bonito de, again, going back to the voices. I mean, and again, that reference about radio.
I don't think so. If you're a good songwriter, I love feeling like, and that's the reason why I brought up Pixies. Dinosaur Jr. is a good one. Right. Actually, all the bands we mentioned.
Yeah.
Because even Courtney Love in Hole, it took her years before she managed to rein in that voice of hers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
Jawbreaker, J Church, all those bands, their vocalists were not considered pleasant, but damn, could they do some, beautiful stuff with their music. Now, abajo de la voz, we're listening to Cursi No Muere. I just put them on because they used to play a lot with Millones de Colores.
Hold on.
And they're also old school también. They're from, over 10 years ago.
Cursi No Mueres.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a brain fart, dude?
Yeah, totally. I turned it off, but it was on, and it was like, wait a minute, just turn it. I literally turned it off.
I was like, is this guy having a senior moment here?
Yeah. No.
Old timers.
Or it's just literally like, well, you know what happens is I get so distracted and, behind the scene conversation. It's a beautiful conversation. I love it. Pero también I get so like, metido. Cursi No Muere, fotografías. Thanks for bring it up. Just tell me, man. Don't let me figure it out.
It's one of those bands that like I don't play enough anymore.
Yeah.
Who's playing right now?
Cursi No Muere.
Okay, good time.
Fotografías.
Yeah.
They're from Argentina. They're a unique band.
Hardcore emo is 90s.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and it's definitely like 90s emo, not today. Bueno, are we on the air now yet? Or
No. Estamos tocando Cursi No Muere.
Okay.
We're almost there. Give me about 23.
So you're free to talk some masa, dude.
Yeah. Not yet.
You're like, I'm gonna save it.
Save that beautiful energy. For this time, I turning on mics.
Acaban de escuchar a Cursi No Muere con la canción Fotografías. Antes de eso, Millones de Colores por Parcelas. Parcelas. Both bands empezaron ya around 2010. Ninguno de los grupos creo que existen anymore. It's a shame. Millones de Colores were one of the pioneers of the Lima, Peru movement that is surgiendo still to this day. Cursi No Muere es de Buenos Aires. Really good. Lo dijo Manolo. Mid-90s, Promise Ring style emo.
Yeah.
Millones de Colores can definitely go into that Husker Du Pixies, thing, which I'm a sucker for. And in fact, I'm such a sucker for is uno de los grupos that I think is the closest thing to Los Pixies and Jesus and the Mary Chain is Las Ruinas that we're going to hear next.
Right.
Las Ruinas, they're done. They're over.
Damn.
They put a rip on their page. 2010
That's what they're called, las ruinas.
to 2020, 10 años, 10 discos. Fuck all y'all motherfuckers. That's pretty much what it said. You know, and I was like, nice. Estos güeyes, dude, like, you know, blazing. It reminds me, Manolo, when you were talking about Nudo Zurdo. This is one of those bands that I don't know why they never got bigger. Igual como Juanita Los Feos and a few other bands that like from the same era that just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not because of lack of the quality of music. Las Ruinas was on El Genio Equivocado for like almost the majority of their career, you know? So I just, no sé. Anyways, let's listen to them. Secundarios del Mundo Unidos. Las Ruinas.
Aquí mi vecindad, la banda elástica radio.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not Bob Gold anymore that's sounding like that, but
yeah,
I hear it. And
I mean, when you listen to this, I mean, this is straight. It sounds like Sugar almost, you know, like the guitar work.
mm-hmm.
Like from the same era.
Yeah, and I think that's, o sea, como en millones the la fuerza, no, and the speed.
Yeah.
And,
it's a different form of pop. It's a different form of pop.
Okay, volvemos a las voces.
Okay.
Cuando and it's tripping me out because cuando I was thinking about this playlist, I was thinking about Alex Lora, and you said earlier, Mr. Wade, I don't think there should be maybe even a thought to like what is a perfect voice, especially when you have all these beautiful imperfections in music, right? And
beautiful, yeah, that's a great terminology. Beautiful imperfections, because it's when you listen to the canción like from Vondre and Nudo Zurdo earlier, they're beautiful.
They're amazing,
but they're tragic.
Absolutely,
you know, they're haunting.
Mm-hmm.
You listen to this song, La Ruina, yeah, it's pop, but is it really pop?
Yeah, no, yeah.
You know, and another thing when I was listening to the set list, estaba driving, and it gave me one of those aha moments, and it made me really, really sonreír from like ear to ear. It reminded me of one of my favorite movies I've ever seen is Pump Up the Volume. When Christian Slater is playing something and then he goes and he leans back on his chair and he's like air drumming and he's just having a great time and he's playing whatever he wants. And it sounds beautiful and saying whatever he wants. It's no secret para los que están escuchando. All three of us somos de la generación of Pump Up the Volume. All three of us saw Pump Up the Volume
in the theater, soundtracks all time.
In the theater, and estábamos chavales. We were about 19 or 20, but it was one of those momentos where you're like, yes,
yeah,
I want to do that. And we are 30 some odd years later, and we're still doing it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But this set reminds me of one of those Pump Up the Volume moments where he's playing.
Okay, does that do you actually do that physically when you're listening to some of the music?
Oh yeah,
right? Right?
Totally. Dude, what are you talking about? Yeah. I'm 50 years old and I still do that.
I was driving Nico to an appointment earlier for his checkup, and he's all, Papa, that's just too loud. Put it down.
And I'm like, no.
It was Nudo Zurdo. I was like, I was just fucking enjoying it, Fucking, hey, man. And he's I was just in the zone. I was in the zone,
Mira, abajo de la voz, estamos escuchando a Románticos Zacatecas. One of my favorite songs of Románticos. I have quite a few.
I want
more.
Los
Románticos Zacatecas. And the reason escogí Esta tema, mi niña, because they capture Weezer a la mexicana so well,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
También los románticos empezaron como en 2008, 2007, por ahí. They've been around por
Backyard
15
band.
años.
Yeah.
And they just put out a single, which we'll play later on. They are one of the bands where me agüitaron un poco in the mid-teens because I felt they strayed from sounding Weezerish to sounding very commercial, and it bummed me out.
I think that was after Riddle Fest, the first Riddle Fest.
Yeah,
right around that
and
time, right? Because
I kind of stopped playing
popular.
Romanticos because I was like, you know, like I'll be happy to say the new single sounds very much like this stuff again. So I'm glad that like they're going back to sus raíces and are sounding you know, you don't have to sell it to the man and, you know.
Yeah. Hay una variedad de músicos, de música, de cantautores, grupos, en todo lo que es esta noche a través de este epic playlist. Me encanta.
Pues, if anything, that's probably lo que tengo en común with las canciones que yo escogí. Ninguno de los vocales are considered diva-esque.
Say it, don't say it.
You know, but
yeah, I hear you.
For my money, this is what I rather listen to all day long, every day.
Again, going back to Alex Lora, fuckers, how many millions has he sold? Has he played to? And how many of them have been, you know, on top of los piratas, turning on mics? Probably like 1 billion.
Los Románticos de Zacatecas con la canción Mi Niña. I figured if we're going to be playing 90s style, we might as well go Weezer a la mexicana. Los Románticos de Zacatecas son de Zacatecas, México. Ya tienen como 15 años de estar tocando. They're still kicking it. Yeah. Algo común de esta noche is most of the bands we played are outside of Bondre. I think Bondre is the only young band tonight. But everybody else, they're all like old timers like us. Anyways, antes de eso, Las Ruinas con Secundarios del Mundo Unidos. That's it. That's our 90s throwback.
That's
Mi Vecindad style.
Throwback. You know. Mira, me encantó. I love it. Estos playlists la voy a hacer público a través de Mi Vecindad on el Apple Music. So you want to listen to the playlist, you can go to Apple Music.
¿Pero cuántos debes, güey? Debes como 17 semanas, güey.
No. That's the playlist. The playlists are on there. The playlists are on there. It's not, it's the
podcast.
It's the podcast itself that I haven't uploaded them. It's been a while. I'm behind, but I will. I'll put them up. I promise.
Eso.
Mira, vamos a terminar, fíjate,
No, I've been waiting. Okay. Porque te aseguro que el Dr. G tiene razón.
Yeah.
¿Por qué regresaste? Bueno, no nomás a México, pero a California.
Right.
Con estos muchachos.
Yeah.
Give me your logic.
Mira, en escuchar la música que me mandaron, el playlist, ¿no? And then somehow in a conversation I had with a fellow colleague, el hijo de hecho de Gabo de María Fatal. We had María Fatal live on this past.
La semana pasada, yeah.
Oh man, it was epic, man.
Was it? Nice.
It was awesome.
Really? Okay.
Live an acoustic show en el estudio de Don Diablo, ahí en el show de Don Diablo. And so now el hijo de Gabo, you know, who's a percussionist, drummer, he's also a percussionist drummer, and he wants to get into the music industry. And so we asked him, I said, well, what would be your genre? And he says, you know, because you never know nowadays. You see a lot of They listen to everything.
Yeah.
Right? They literally listen to everything. Anyhow,
Mhm.
he said Rage Against the Machine. He said, that's my band. That's the band porque, you know, they are political, they're activists, they're rappers, they're songwriters, they're, you know, American, they're Mexican, you know, they're like, they represent me. And I was like, orale. You know, I was, okay, I hear you. And I think that's how I felt about the playlist. It was that kind of epic. So I thought Rage Against the Machine, but I thought, well, maybe Zach de la Rocha has something out there on his own. Right? He's got a couple things out there, right?
Mhm.
Pero luego me topé con una canción donde Zach de la Rocha canta con los Tigres del Norte. Rarely have we done this, pero Zach de la Rocha con los Tigres del Norte.
Wow.
I know, dude.
Damn.
Okay, pero espérate. So then I was like, what is this? Somos más americanos. And that blew the shit out of my head. I was like, holy cacas grandes. This is so true. So then I was like, we got to play this. This is Los Tigres del Norte, un grupo de Sinaloa que se vino a los Estados Unidos para prosperar y lo hizo con su música y ha representado desde 1968 a todos los mexicanos, mexicoamericanos y latinos en los Estados Unidos a través de las bastantes décadas ahora de la música. ¿Cuál rockero que tú conozcas, especialmente el mexicano, súper rockero, no escuche a los Tigres del Norte?
Or at least por lo menos,
todo el mundo.
like, knows of them, you know. Yeah.
I thought you did it for National Immigrant Heritage.
No,
he's not that deep, bro.
Really? I was like, I thought, but he's a savant, dude. Maybe at some level
No, we are not that deep. Aquí en mi vecindad. We get lucky a lot.
Come on. Yeah, we do actually a lot. You're right about that, a lot. But thank you for Diabólico. Yes, that's what I did. No, la verdad es por eso, porque tiene que ver mucho con la música, tiene que ver con mi vecindad, tiene que ver mucho con Diabólico, con el Chivo, nuestros backgrounds.
And the wonderful story del show de Don Diablo and María Fatal. I mean, you tied it all in together with this, dude.
Yes.
And then somehow added Rage con Tigres del Norte to a 90s set.
Savant, te digo, güey.
Yeah, Savant. Actually, eran las chelas, güey. Eran las chelas, and he's like,
right.
I'm going to do this, güey. And he just runs out.
I'm gonna do this and it's gonna happen tonight on Mi Vecindad. Somos Más que Americanos featuring Zach de la Rocha, Los Tigres del Norte, y con eso nos despedimos esta noche aquí en Mi Vecindad. La Banda Elástica Radio, DiavloVision.
Hasta la próxima semana, muchachos. Agur.
Se cuidan, raza. Buenas noches.
You hear that intro, it's just it's epic. It's epic.
It is, yeah.
You know. And I've heard the song obviously many times, but
not with Zach.
Not with Zach. You know, you see the video, you're like, holy shit, this guy, and he's fucking playing the guitar there, you know, he's playing the lira, you know, with the band. You know, it's intense. It's intense.
I mean, the thing with Rage, whether you're a fan or you're not, being un chicano, un pocho, you cannot walk away from Rage.
Yeah.
Being Latino, being Afro-Latino, you name it, whatever. I mean, they have like, it's one of those bands that you cannot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, de todas formas, todos colores son lo que nos ha representado. Y bueno, vamos a terminar aquí en el live, en el Face. Saludos, gracias a Bumbo, La Love, por la distribución, for sharing. Y unos saludos también a los compadres. Y también, you know, those, I'm not sure who's been messaging, but there's a few out there.
Manolo doesn't do his
Todos?
job. Like he comes in bien pedo and he just like goes.
Dude,
There wasn't any comments on the Mi Vecindad.
Okay. all right.
focus, focus.
I thought you were too busy drinking this time. Didn't you?
No había acción.